All right, let's talk about number three in the Ice Palace, where yes, the Ice Palace gets its first mention. It's getting made for this winter carnival where they're getting finding the clearest, biggest blocks of ice to construct the Ice Palace. So we haven't met it yet. Sally has arrived in um, Boston. No, it's Harvard, man. Yeah, Boston, where she meets the people and she gets a little education from Harry, who says like, well, look, no, this town is only like three generations deep, so you'll find that like that this isn't one of these things where people are aristocratic all the way back. Indeed, like the guy who's the woman who's like the big social top of the pinnacle right now. Her grandfather was the first ashman of the town, but you don't talk about that sort of stuff, and you don't slam people for that sort of stuff. And says like, well, why are you bugging me about this? And it's like, well, a Southern girl came last year and she said some rather unfortunate things, and so she's like, oh, yeah, I'm getting whacked for something I haven't even done. um, Goes to a party, meets all the people. It's like it's all the men who are doing the talking. You get the sense that maybe women get to do a little bit more talking in the South. She finds that while in the South, if you were engaged to someone, you'd still get flirted with by other men, just like if you were a debutante. Up here, it's like, oh no, you've become out of bounds, and all we can talk to you about is your fiance. And the one guy who actually mistakenly does flirt with her a bit. When he finds out that she's engaged to Harry, immediately goes, oh God," and basically rushes off. The one guy that she does actually have a little bit of connection with is a guy who's actually he's an English professor, and he's originally from Philadelphia, and he's been here for about 10 years, and he has some um, kind of theories. He has some kind of theories on the inhabitants of the town, saying that they've been infected with the Swedish temperament, and they're the Northerners are a very depressive lot. And he was thinking about Ibsen, and people with like very kind of narrow, cold things. There's no tears. They don't get the release of tears that like Southerners would get. Um, you know, and stuff like that. And she has her own ideas of like, it's a very canine, like it's a good looking crowd, like uh, it's like and earlier Harry had said it's a good looking crowd, and it's like all these men are like sportsmen or dynamic businessmen, and she looks at them all and says very canine. And that is, she classifies people as either canine or feline, and she's definitely feline. She sees Roger Patton here as feline, and a lot of Southern gentlemen are feline, but a lot of the men here in this thing are canine, kind of very self-consciously masculine without a subtlety, I think is how Roger Patton puts it. So we're definitely getting the sense of Sally Carroll being an outsider in this thing. There's the cold, but there's just also the kind of the cold manner of the people here, and the feline versus the kind of very canine thing. There's his sister, who's going to become her sister-in-law, is half Scandinavian, and there's very much kind of a, yeah, it's like it's not going to be, yeah, and yeah, he takes it as Ibsen. You'll find in the characters in Ibsen a certain brooding rigidity. They're righteous, narrow, and cheerless, without infinite possibilities for great sorrow or joy. And she's like, she's like, "Why do you live here?" It's like, "Well, I'm rather cloistered. I love the book. I'm more interested in books. You know, yeah, yeah. I suppose books mean more to me than people, anyway." So he's been brought up here to teach French. Actually, that's French, professor of French literature. So it's the job of being the professor of French literature is definitely more of the reason why he is here versus the people. And she says that she is here, with Harry, that you know that I'm the sort of person who wants to be taken care of after a certain point, and I feel sure I will be. So that's sort of what she's looking for in Harry, is someone who's going to take care of her after a certain point. So that's what she's going for. Though at the very end, like, she's nestled into Harry's coat from the cold outside as they're getting driven home. She buries her face deep in his fur coat and trembled involuntarily as his cold lips kissed the tip of her ear. So that's Harry as the source of cold too. And her shivering involuntarily. Like, this is involuntarily maybe not going to be the best match, is what's going to happen here. I guess we'll see. All right, I'll leave it there. More videos later.